Well, two digital media stories leading the news today. Good thing we have Kevin Poulter on hand. He's a partner at the law firm Child & Child and a digital media analyst. Kevin, let's talk about the Apple FBI story first of all. What does this say about how easy it is to get past the passwords on an iPhone?
I'm sure it's not easy. I'm sure I'm not capable of it, and I'm sure many of us aren't, but it seems that there's one company out there which is. And it seems the American government have been in touch with them, and they seem to have managed what everyone else has failed at and managed to break into this phone, this iPhone 5C, and this has caused international debate, I think it's fair to say, about privacy and what rights we have and who really should be able to control that information.
Should we be able to know who managed to crack it?
Well, there's rumours that there's a company, I think in Israel, who's already got a contract with the FBI and the American government, and it's worth knowing that they've not said that it is them, they've not said it's not them, but interestingly, the Justice Department and the FBI have not disclosed it either, not even going as far as to say whether it took place in the US. So I think there's a good indication there.
Do you think it's a PR win or a loss for Apple? I mean, they didn't back down, but it just goes to show that their software is not impenetrable.
That's right, and I think it's a really good question. What Apple did do is to make a big play on how important security is to its customers and how important it is to Apple. And I think that this breach, this backdoor that's apparently been found that they said never existed, is going to cause them some problems. It means that they're going to now have to do something about it and address this potential problem, not only for consumers, but for businesses as well.
Of course, there are lots of other test cases out there. Are there any on the tip of your tongue?
There was a similar case, actually, only a month ago in New York, where the court was trying to get into a drug dealer's phone.
Yes.
And I think that that's really not set a precedent, but in that case, the judge said, this is too big a deal. We can't just take this one little issue in terms of a drug deal, but potentially turn the whole world on its head in terms of data.
Let's just talk about that story about cyber fraudsters picking on company employees, looking at their social media profiles and finding data that helps them hack the companies. I mean, are you surprised by it?
I'm not surprised. It's been happening for years. The banks last year, 100 million, I think, was lost out of international banks through similar things. It's old school techniques. We're talking about scams, we're talking about phishing techniques, we're talking about using unsecured Wi-Fi. Just use a bit of sense, protect yourself, protect your employer. And I say it's easy to say in retrospect, but be sensible, be cautious.
Wise words indeed. Kevin Poulter from Child & Child, thank you very much for joining us.